Kling 2.6 motion control just came out, and I wanted to see what it could really do. One thing I noticed right away is that it works really well with reference images that have different camera angles. That immediately gave me the idea to use our multi-angle fashion shoot agent to generate multiple angles, then bring those into our Kling motion control agent and generate performance from different perspectives. This is especially powerful for music videos. You can shoot your performance once in a normal room, keeping the movements authentic to the artist. It makes editing way easier because you don't have to deal with a bunch of different takes. You can still do multiple takes if you want, but if you nail one great performance, you can reuse it across different reference images and still end up with something that feels dynamic when you edit it. I'm gonna walk you through how we do this, so if you're ready, let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna be using two different agents, and I have both tabs open. So here we have our multi-angle fashion shoot agent, where we're gonna create all the interesting angles for this. Then we have our Kling motion control agent. So what we need is reference images and the video that's gonna drive the reference images. So I'm gonna use the performance that I did previously for the example that I showed you earlier. Then I'm gonna show you the process that I did step by step. And here I have my video recordings of my performance, and I also have my reference image, which is just a screenshot from one of the videos. But ideally you wanna take a photo that's a little bit cleaner than this, where your mouth is not like half open or like your hands are like in a weird position like in this one. But you do want enough of your body and clothing that you want represented in your other images that you're gonna be generating to be present in your main image. So in this case, I'm not showing the bottom part of my body, so the AI is gonna try to guess or just come up with something. And if you're cool with that, then you're good. But if you want your whole outfit and your whole body represented, then you wanna make sure that you have a close-up like this and a far shot of your full body. And this will be the reference images for Nano Banana to look at and then generate new images and a new location. You want a close-up where you can see enough details of your face, and then you also want a far shot of what your whole body looks like. That way you get the best representation of your subject. So what I did is I used Nano Banana, and we have a Nano Banana agent, which is what I used here. I gave it the image of myself, and then I gave it another image of a location. Obviously there's a person here, but I wasn't too concerned about this guy. I just really liked this location and I wanted to use it for this. So I asked Nano Banana to put me in this location and to also give me sunglasses. And this is what it gave me right here. So he put me in this location, he put sunglasses on me, and it interpreted what else I was wearing. And I think it matches the outfit pretty nicely, so I went with that. And then I decided, what if there's some water? What if there's water up to my knee? And I thought, what if the water rises and it goes all the way to my shoulder, and it just keeps rising and keep rising until I'm fully inside of the water like this. And so this is the kind of route I took with it. And let's go ahead and do something so I can show you how I do this step by step. All right, so I'm here in a Nano Banana agent, and I'm gonna give it an image of myself and of another location so we can get something a little different this time. And this is the location I'm using, just something I found online. And then I'm just gonna tell it, and I'm using an app called Whisper Flow, which allows me to dictate instead of typing. So that's what I'm using, just in case you're curious. I'm going to tell the agent, place this person in this location and give them sunglasses, full body shot. All right, and this is what it gave me. It doesn't look so good, if we're being honest. It looks like it was photoshopped on there. It doesn't look like I'm part of the environment, but I believe that the multi-angle photo shoot agent should correct this, and it should give us way better looking images. So I'm just gonna run with this and just see what it does, and hopefully it's gonna give me some good results. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this little icon, like this quotation icon next to the image. It's gonna give me a link, and I'm just gonna copy that link. Or you can simply just, copy image. All right, so now let's go to our multi-angle fashion shoot agent, and I'm gonna go ahead and paste that image there, and I'm gonna go ahead and run it, and the agent should know what to do. It's gonna guide us step by step. So let's go ahead and click on this little up arrow. And now it's saying that it's analyzing our image, and it's gonna create what we call a contact sheet, which is 6 frames, and you're gonna see right now what it looks like. Now it's asking us if we wanna have 3D text behind it, and no, we don't. We just want it to be clean shots only. So we're gonna click on that. And now it's asking us if we wanna see the shots. If we click on yes, we're going to see a list of all the shots, and it's gonna give details of what's in the shot, so you can make the changes before the image gets generated. So you can read through this if you like, but if you don't wanna read through this, you could have just clicked on no, just generate. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with it, and if I want any changes later, I can always make those changes. So generate the contact sheet. And then here we have our contact sheet. As you can see, it definitely improved the lighting and it doesn't seem like I was just photoshopped into these. However, there is this frame right here, the 6th frame, that is pretty much useless for what we're trying to do. So I can always ask the agent to change frame 6 to something else, or frame 5 or 4, whichever one. Change frame 6 so that the subject's face is in the shot. And let's go ahead and run that. All right, so as you can see, it redid it for us. It's very similar to this one right here, but it's fine, it's in the shot. Let's go ahead and proceed with this, right? So now what it's doing is extracting each one of those frames so that they're individual frames. From there, we can change the aspect ratio to 16:9 or 9:16. And here we have our 6 images extracted. Now we can ask it for let's go with 16:9. All right, so here we have our 6 images as 16:9. So now we can use any of these for Kling's motion control, which will allow us to pretty much use these different angles and keep that same performance going. So let's go ahead and choose one of these. So I'm gonna select this image right here, this low angle, and I'm gonna click on this icon, this quotation icon that gives me a link. I'm gonna copy that link. Then I'm gonna come into my Kling motion control agent. And from here, I'm gonna paste that image that I just copied. Then I'm gonna drag my performance video right here. And then I'm just gonna tell the agent, this is my video and reference image. Now it's asking us to choose between these two options. You can choose match character to video or match character to image. If you choose for video, it says complex body motion and action perform better up to 30 seconds. It allows you to generate videos up to 30 seconds. If you match character to image, camera movement and cinematic motions are better supported, and it goes up to 10 seconds. So this might be a little bit confusing. Let me show you an example of what this looks like. So here I have an image of myself in Times Square and I'm looking to the side. And when I generated this, and this is my performance here, I'm looking straight into the camera. It's not a side view. So when I use image orientation, it follows the position of the image reference that I was using. So in this case, I'm looking to the side. And the background is moving behind him, which it doesn't look bad, right? It looks like it's going around him. It looks like the camera's orbiting around him. However, if I were to do video orientation, meaning the orientation that I am in my video, then it's gonna be having me face forward, even if the subject in the reference image is looking to the side. And look at this. This is the difference between these two. If the subject in your reference image is facing the same way and is positioned in the same place in the video, then both of these will probably work fine. But if you want this to work for different angles like we're trying to do, then you likely want to go with image orientation. So we're going to go ahead and go with image orientation. So let's go ahead and select match character orientation to image. And then finally create animation with Kling 2.6. Oh, and something I forgot to do, and it's too late now, but I forgot to put in a prompt. And that's why before generating, they asked me to give a custom prompt. So you do want to give it a prompt. You do want to make sure that you give enough information there so that it does what you want it to do. For example, the video where I'm underwater, I ran it once without a prompt and it wasn't causing my hair to have the water physics like I'm underwater. But then when I gave it a prompt and told it that I was underwater, then it gave it that effect. All right, so I ran both versions. I ran it through image orientation and also video orientation. So I want to show you the difference, right? So that you can look at it and you can decide what you want to go with. So the way I shot my video, it's not probably the ideal way to shoot it because it's not showing the bottom part of my body. It doesn't show any movement. So the AI has to do a lot of guesswork. So let me show you. Before that, I did it without the prompt, right? Like I told you. So without the prompt, look what it's doing. So a lot of this also looks really bad, and I'm guessing it's because my video cuts off around right here, my original video where I'm performing this. So you don't see what's happening underneath right here. So I didn't give the AI any information of what's happening below this part right here, and it's just guessing, right? And it's guessing pretty good, but I think it also suffers because it doesn't have that information. All right, so it did okay. I didn't like that it was zooming in. Maybe you like that, and you can prompt that in there for it to do that. I didn't want it to zoom in, so I just asked it, can you redo it and keep the camera locked in place as he is rapping? And that's what it did for the second one right here. So again, it's suffering a lot because it doesn't have any information here. Also, it's getting an angle that is very, very different than the original. So the mouth movements, they are following it somewhat. And because of that, this image orientation does suffer from it. But then I tried it with video orientation, and check this out, right? So the mouth movements move way better, but the biggest reason I think that is because now he's not facing forward like the other video. He's facing towards the camera, looking down at the camera, because that's how my original video was, where I was looking directly at the camera. So that's what it's doing here. And because of that, it's following the mouth movements a lot better too. Again, it's doing a lot of guesswork with the hands, because let's look at my original video again. Right? Look at how much you see of the bottom part of my body. You don't see a lot. So when my hands are moving in and out of the shot, it's gonna suffer because of that. So just be aware that that's a thing. But you can still get some decent results like this or that original video that I had made. So I did another run and I did it from this angle, and this is the results that I got. Again, the camera's moving. I don't believe I gave it, no, I didn't give it a prompt. So I can tell it to lock in place. Oh, and if you're wondering why the agent looks a little bit different, it's because I changed it to have a little bit of that clean green, if you know what I mean. Now let me try that again, and let me prompt something that happens in the background. Let's say I want the lights to be blinking on and off. So let's try that to see what we get, which will make the shot a lot more interesting, right? Can you try that again? Keep the camera locked in place and have the lights blink on and off throughout the performance. And also have rats running across the counter. All right, so let's try that. That's gonna be interesting. All right, so check this out. That looks really weird. The rats, I don't know what they look like. They just look creepy. And then the flashing lights, it's not really flashing these lights, but it is flashing something. And there's a lot going on, like a lot of like movement here. There's like a flashing light here, but not these. I was hoping it was these lights here. Maybe there is some prompting that can be done to get these lights, maybe if I'm very specific with it. But it kind of gives you an idea of what's possible with prompting. So prompting does help. It's not just giving a reference image and then the video. You can even give it prompts so that certain things happen in the video. So there is that flexibility. Now, is it always going to give you something good? It's not always a certain thing, right? But it's possible. So this is how you do it, right? You get the images that you really like. You run it through the Kling motion control agent. So once you're done generating these, you're going to have a lot to work with when you're editing this in Premiere or DaVinci Resolve. Wherever you're editing this, you will be able to cut it up, cut it to the beat, show all these different angles and make it very dynamic, very interesting to look at. So what I would recommend is record a full performance of the artist. Likely it's going to be like 1 to 2 minutes long if it's a full song, and then cut it up in chunks. If you're doing a full music video, then you're going to have to figure out which angles to use for which parts. So you might have to divide the video performance every 10 seconds so that you are able to generate it through orientation to image. Or if you want to go with orientation to video, like the examples I showed you, for the shots that make sense with that, and then you can run it up to 30 seconds if you really want to do that. So it definitely takes some planning. But if you're doing some promo stuff for social media, take 2, 3, 4 angles, generate them all the way through, edit it, and put it on Instagram, TikTok, or wherever you want to post it. All right, so that's how you can use the multi-angle fashion shoot agent to get some really cool shots for a single performance. I hope you found this video useful, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest AI models and techniques. Until next time, take care.